mainly because I am more au fait with the colouring, and I have my palette set up in Photoshop. So we bring Photoshop back up. We can use recent edit files because it's still the same file name and everything else. And there it is, all inked and everything else. How good! That does look good. I'm happy with that. So we get rid of the spare layer because we don't need that anymore. And we'll lock in the background. The backgrounds are going to be different. So the first background is that one, which we will put in some kind of she wears red, he wears blue, so we'll put in some kind of beige effort. Nope, I've still got the layer locked, so let's unlock that. Like that, and then these two are sort of open air, so we'll have some kind of blue. This is the kind of blue I like for the sky. Put that in, that white is in the right place, so we like that. And then we're ready to start the process of colouring. But yeah, if you're willing to practice, you will get good fast. So right, this is how we start the colouring. We get rid of all the words, so they're all empty, and then we get the balloon fill layer, and then we select the magic wand tool, and the magic wand tool selects everything inside an area, and I've got it set on all layers, so it will only fill in one little bit, and then we fill in all the balloons. Then we go to, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know this whole process. We go to select, modify, expand, and I set it at 3 pixels, and that expands the layer past where the borders are. But obviously, because balloon fill becomes under balloon line, you won't see that. You'll still see the sharp black line of the balloon layer. And then we colour them all in, and then obviously where I've got the overlaps, we zoom in to a nice smooth line. And we get the white paintbrush and just get rid of all these lines. You can use the eraser tool, but I tend to just like colouring it in. It's only these two this time. Always zoom out to check, because many a time I've launched a strip, or and I've seen it when I've on the site, and there's nothing worse than having to come all the way back to edit. So that's all done. There, my balloons done, all in. And then we go through the same process on the colour layer. Make sure we select the colour layer, and we'll start with Warren's hair, which is generally where I start. And then I bring up my colour palette. Now that I've got it on the colour layer, bring up my colour palette, and I've got Warren's hair there. I've also got Warren's hair shaded, and I'm going to do some shading today, because we're going to do the full biff. I haven't done this shading in quite a while, to be honest. So we're going to have the light. There's a bigger space here, so I'm going to have the light come in from. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to have the light come in from this angle, like that, so that we'll have a window here somewhere. So we'll bring that back up, and then we'll select the darker side, and then the dark side will be here, and then here, and then all of that, and that's about it, and that's the hair done. And then when the light shines in, this is all of the skin tones. So that's I've not done Jodie's fringe. Oh well, that's going to look odd. Let's get this done, and then I can sort that out afterwards. What am I doing? Skin tone is the first tone I've got in there. And then while these are all selected, I can select the darker tone of skin, and we can do the other side of the neck, just under the chin, this side of the face, probably all the hand because it's hidden by the face, this part of the skin here, Jodie's neck there, probably a little bit of the chin, and that's about it. Yes, that's about it. Right, now we need to, when we've made a mistake like that, we have to go back into the ink layer, and because we're in Photoshop now, obviously the line's not going to be perfect, but you can usually get away with only having to do a little line like that. Back onto the colour layer. I keep thinking I'm saying Galileo. The colour layer. Colour layer Figaro. T-shirt. basically all the block colours we get done. I've got all of my presets up there. Select the darker one, colour in the other side of the neck, down his front there, like that. If I was a little further down, I'd do a fold in the t-shirt, but there's no need here. White, I can get a lot. There's a lot of whites. Teeth, phone, t-shirt sleeve, Jodie's glasses, teeth. That's it. Expand, get the white in, and then for shading of white, I use a light grey for the t-shirt. So we'll have the t-shirt come in like that, and then we'll have a little bit down like that, like so. And then obviously we also need to just do a little bit more white work, because we can't fill in the eyes because we don't join them. And that's just my own personal drawing style. I find I get a nice circle when I don't join them like that. I just prefer it. And obviously where I've gone over the lines, colouring in the skin on Jodie's face. Bring up the tongue colour, colour that in freehand. No need to do the whole nonsense on that. I'm just missing a little bit of shading in underneath Warren's eye there, so I'm just going to shade that in. Then we've got Jodie's hair, which is a darker brown than Warren's. So we colour that, and then we've got the inside bit is slightly darker, and everything's the lines are a bit too thin, so it's overlapping. So I need to go in there and do it by hand. And then I tend to sometimes just do a couple of lines to denote the hair, like that. Maybe one more there. No, I don't like that one. Then we get in and do the t-shirt, and Jodie's t-shirt is a darker red than Lawrence's, and then we have a darker shade for the shading, so we'll do it on the shoulder, back of that arm, and the boob. Under the boob we'll probably do a bit of the boob as well. We might even put a bit of shade underneath to denote where the boobs are, and a little bit of a stretch mark maybe, like that, just where her boobs are so big they pull the t-shirt apart. Grow up, people, come on, big boobs, who cares? No one. Right, select, modify, expand, white. Don't need to shade any of the white. Move on. Kip's skin, lots of it. Oh, I've got a crack somewhere. I've got a crack in the line. Got quite a few cracks. Never mind. I can't do that then. I'm gonna have to fill it in now. Again, bring up the ink layer. Join the lines up where I've gone over, back into colours, select it up, and bring up Kip's skin, select, modify, expand. As always, big old skin colouring, and then bring up the darker layer. For Kip, I can have the sun coming in at any side because it's outside. I'm not going to draw the sun. I'm not going to colour a bit of yellow in. It tends to look a bit naff. So I'll just pick the back side of his face as if it's the same lighting angle as in the first panel. Let me just colour them in like that. I've missed his front end somehow. I'll just freehand that now. There'll be no shading on that. We'll have the steering wheel was black, so we'll just do that. I've missed his belly as well. So we'll just colour that in like so. Could probably do with a little bit of shading under here like that, just to denote where his arm is. Rub that bit out, and also there. where I've overlapped. Tongue colour, always the same, dark red. We'll have a dark grey for the seat. I think I'm going to make the spaceship red, so the interior is going to be a really dark, like that kind of colour. Oh, I've got too many going on. Ah, bugger off. I've not cleared the... Oh, for crying out loud. I didn't clear my selection, so it would have coloured in what I'd already coloured. Like so, and then even darker red, just to do a little bit of panel lining, as if it's like a curved leather interior type thing. Like that. And I might even do the bottom of it like that. Yeah, I think I will. Okay, and I'm going to do, what red am I going to do? I'm going to take the very first red that's in the colour palette and just darken it a little bit. Like that. That will be the colour of the spaceship. Like so. Select. Colour it in. And then in this one, if the sun was coming from the left in panel 2, it's got to be coming from the right in panel 3. So we're going to lighten it up a little bit by putting a thing here just to show a little shine on it, like so. We want to make sure we've got the same colours, so I'm not going to do the whole lines in the interior or anything, but I am going to put in the same basic interior colour just so that it all matches. And then we got Kip. Oh, I think it'd be easier to just go in and colour this because he's quite small, lest we forget. And we can just go in and colour it like so. It turns out that 3 pixels is probably too big for this line as well. There's a lot of overlapping in that area. Like so. Get the eyes. Take a bit more care now so that I don't keep overlapping everything. A little bit of white for the teeth. Just get that. This is going to be the most epically long video. I might split it up. This might be part 2 you're listening to, because it is going to be long otherwise, and I don't know how much attention it will hold people. I'll just put it in a playlist of like a couple so that people can watch it in stints. Let's select that colour so that I can just, where I've gone over the line there, tidy that up, get that gap. Oh bugger, I've gone over the line again. I'd be shit at colouring in nowadays, but then I probably want to choose a paintbrush that's this big and then stick with it like I'm some kind of stubborn mule. Like so. Right, now just want to rub out this little bit of purple. Too much. Oh my god, I'm having a nightmare. You can't even see this probably as well, where I'm doing it in such detail. Okay, and then right, one thing I do want to do for both things, on the background layer I want to select this area and this area, and then because they're glass I want it to seem like it's a little bit more faded through. I want it to denote it's glass, so if we just make it a little bit lighter. Oh fuck off, I've done this all wrong. Let's get this back to normal. Right, ink, colour, there, lighter, done. And then if we colour them in, there we go, and it just makes it look like it's glass because of, I can get rid of that as well, there's a bit of white that's encroached on panel 3. It looks like a bit of glass now. if you see. And then I've got to colour the house, and that should be the strip done. And this has been an epic undertaking, but you know, it used to take me 2 hours just to draw a strip, let alone all the colour and everything else I used to put into it. So now that I have just shown you basically my entire process and finished a strip in nigh on an hour and a half, it shows how far you can come if you're willing to. Oh, I've got this on the inks layer, I don't want it on the inks layer. Shows you how far you can come just with a bit of practice. I don't know why, but I think the front door is red. I can't actually remember. Really darkish red. Let's try that. That looks alright. Roof tile. Actually, that's more like roof tile, isn't it? That colour. Let's go a bit more orange for the roof colour. A bit more terracotta-y. Like that. Yeah, like that. Very much. The house can be white. No, it's not have it white. What colour can the house be? Our house is blue. I don't want to do blue though because it's a bit yellow, like a faded yellowy colour. A bit like that. And then if I perhaps maybe if I do that, nope, that, nope, that's the one, and then erase this whole bottom layer. Oh, you fucking bastard. It's still joined up, so get rid of that, get rid of that. Magic eraser, just get rid of the bottom line, thank you. Now I'm going to make this a bit more sand like. I want it to have a look like it's got like the upper half paneling type thing going on. That's my plan. Little things like this just strengthen your finished piece. Shows that you've put a little bit of thought into. I could just leave it like this, no one would really give a shit, but while I'm doing this sort of thing where I'm showing you the difference, might as well show you the difference it makes when you do take a little bit of care with you. There you go, a bit like that. Could do with a line all the way across there, to be honest, now thinking about it. I'm not going to faff about with that though. Let's just put really, really light blue in the windows, and I mean really light blue, to the point that it's almost white. And then a couple of streaks of even lighter blue, like that, because that just makes it look like glass then, like so. And then we've just got, I'm going to go with the same colour as the base there for the chimney. And then once this is coloured, you have successfully, if you've sat through all parts, if I've partitioned it, you have successfully sat through an entire process from concept to idea to finish of me, Ian Oakley, artist and creator of snapcontroller.com. This will be up Wednesday the 8th of October, which it is not already, or it shouldn't be if this goes up, and you can go and view this strip on the website. Oh, one last thing, as we're doing backgrounds, we said we were going to put a window in on this side, so let's do that. This colour, slightly lighter, like so, popping across to denote a window. Oh, you fucker. There we go. And that's it. That is a finished it. And then I save it as the PDF file, in case I, not the PDF, PSD file, in case I need it at some point for high quality print. And then we resize it for the internet, which is 72 pixels, 950 wide, 475 high. And I've not flattened it, which is why it's taking forever. You meant to flatten it first. Like that. And then at 100%, that's your comic. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope you've enjoyed watching the entire creative process of a Snap Controller strip. Be sure to check out the rest of the videos for the remainder of the week. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Hope you've got some good stuff coming up. I'll still be here drawing next week. Hopefully you'll join me. And I'll see you next time. On I Draw, you watch. Goodbye.